What is up, everybody? I'm here with kind of a talk about the patch notes that just happened. I know that I'm kind of late, they came out yesterday and stuff, but I kind of wanted to get a feel of how the changes were before talking about them. So, yeah, I'm just gonna get into them. Class stuff. The only one that's relevant is kind of Purge. Purge is 20% less mana. I think that's actually pretty cool. Restorations can actually purge now and especially with this druid nerf, they can actually effectively a resto druid if they just spam purge their hots. So I think that's pretty cool. PvE stuff, PvE stuff. I guess this kind of is a thing. If you do the brawl, you get like as much AP as you would get for winning an RBG, which is kind of cool. Also gives a ton of honor levels. Next up for the actual PvP changes. Wind Burst no longer has a ground effect on Blades' Arena. That's actually really helpful because every single time a hunter uses a Wind Burst on Blades Edge, you just lose all your FPS. Like everything's just super choppy. It's really annoying. So now that they fix that, it's really nice. Next up, Resto Druids. So their mana regen's reduced by 10% and overgrowth costs 33% more mana. So what I've been seeing is druids actually end up ooming kind of. Like it's obviously not super fast, but they actually have the potential to oom now. Rather than before that they wouldn't oom unless they were in something like 50% dampening or something like that. So that's kind of cool. Then their artifact, where it refreshes their hots whenever they're under 30% is now 20%. I don't think that's really going to be too relevant. I feel like this doesn't actually happen in most matchups, except maybe against, I guess, lock teams or something. Next up, Temp Shield nerf. It's actually really huge. I feel like mages should almost not even use Temp Shield if they're against something that has a consistent purge, because it almost 100% of the time gets purged before the 6 seconds are up. So that's kind of a huge nerf to mages. Next up, Mystery Bear Monks. The versatility is increased by 30%. This is actually really small because it's actually just like 3% increased versatility because they have like 15% or something like that. So they have 18%. And so they end up getting 3% increased healing and like 1.5% increased damage reduction. So it's really not what Mr. needed. They probably needed way more like stuff when it comes to mana and stuff and things like that. Next up, Holy Priests. Holy Priests have been very relevant, but the flash heal is increased by 60%. I actually played against a Holy Priest yesterday, and they actually did really pretty good healing. I was surprised they were able to out heal Ret Hunter at least. Next up, these are the big ones. Demo Lock stamina was reduced by 15%, and Soul Link was nerfed by 30%. So what Soul Link was is it's Soul Skin. I mean the Soul Skin for Soul Link. So what it is whenever a Demo Lock is under, I think it's 40% HP, their Soul Link is increased to, now 30% damage reduction. So 30% of the damage is redirected to their pet instead of done to them. So now it's 30% instead of 40%. So they have 10% less damage reduction, which is pretty helpful. And the important one is this one. The stamina template is reduced by 15%, and this is actually huge for demo locks because this also reduces the stamina of all their pets, which makes it so all their pets have 15% less HP, which also makes it so that their Thalcules does less damage, since what Thalcules does is pretty much the added HP of all their pets. So this is a pretty big nerf to Warlocks. It nerfs Thalcules a lot, and it also hurts their survivability a lot. And also, I think that they also secretly nerfed Fellord. I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard about that, and I was playing with the demo lock yesterday, and the damage didn't seem as good as it was apparently. So yeah, Demolocks way squishier. Thalcules isn't as insane. Next up for Arms Warriors. Arms Warriors kind of got dicked on. Duel is now a 60-second cooldown and only lasts for 6 seconds. And Disarm now lasts for 4 seconds and it's a 45-second cooldown. Now the Disarm one I definitely think was needed, but Duel was, I think, kind of over nerfed. Like, at least if it's a 60-second cooldown, it should at least last for 8 seconds still. This just seems a little bit over the top. Really hurts Warriors' effectiveness. I don't even know if they would even run Duel anymore. Like, it's literally more than doubled the cooldown. It's insane. So yeah, just okay. So going over what I saw kind of yesterday based on the changes, Druids actually do now, which is kind of good because, like, it's not, they don't really too often, but if they have to constantly heal a decent amount of damage, they do Mages should probably just not even run temp if they have a purge on the team, because it just gets purged almost every single time. Misweavers are the same. Holy Priests actually are kind of more relevant with this now, I feel like. Demolocks, I think Demolocks are actually still the best Warlock for at least the meta right now. For some reason the meta, just randomly, there's tons of Ret Hunters everywhere. So you're going to need the tankiness of Demo. Actually, or I've been seeing a lot of Destrolocks. Destrolocks are really tanky, at least against like Ret Hunter and stuff like that. So maybe Destro will start to come back up now that Demo got nerfed a bit. But I feel like everyone's just overhyping the Demo nerf, and that most people are going to be back to playing Demo in the next couple days after they realize it's still better than the others. I mean, actually, Affliction, I haven't really seen too much Affliction. Just Affliction doesn't seem that good right now because there's a lot of Ret Hunter everywhere, and Affliction really gets dicked on by Ret Hunter. Like, you almost never lose to an Affliction lock unless it's on something like Blade's Edge. Next up, Warriors. I queued into a couple Warriors. Obviously, their damage hasn't changed at all, but yeah, I don't think they were running Duel from what I saw. I don't really remember too well, but they still ran Disarm, and Disarm is way easier to deal with now, being that it's only 4 seconds and it's up every 45 seconds. So you don't really have to worry about Warriors as much anymore, I think. The damage is it's still insane, so Turbo is probably still scary, but they just have way less utility. So yeah, hope this helped, I guess. Peace.